I come from Chikkanahalli, Hosakote Taluk, Bangalore South District. I have two elder brothers and two elder sisters. I got affected by polio when I was 6 years old, but I used to move around. I used to drag myself on the floor then. We were very poor back then. We could barely afford one meal a day, and the income in the house was meager. My brother was working in a shoe factory at Pina Industrial Area in Bangalore. He took me along and got me my first job at an STD telephone booth as a cashier. I lived with him and used to commute on my cycle. I would visit my village occasionally. I used to earn a salary of Rs 1,800 a month. After 3 years, once I needed some medical certificates and I used my employer's name to get it. When he found out, he removed me from the job. Then I went back home to my village. My family helped me set up a petty shop at home. I would move around in my cycle. My brother would bring the goods for the shop and I would sell them. By then my mother's cancer had progressed and she expired. We had some debts. I had also borrowed around Rs 50,000 and invested it in the shop. I paid off the debts and closed down my shop. By then my mother had expired. My brother got married and I could not work. We faced a lot of difficulty. My brother suggested that I should join some Christian institution and that would take care of my basic needs. But I told him I wanted to go to Bangalore and find work. He was worried, but I insisted on it. Then one day, I found an ad in the papers about a training program on computer designing in Shivajinagar. We had to pay Rs 3,000 for the course. I came to APD and requested them to help me. I told them I will stay there, assist them in office with photocopying etc. and asked if they could provide me an accommodation instead of paying me a salary. They agreed. I used to work there during the day and later attend training classes for 3 hours every day. I made some friends there. We had to bring our own provisions and cook. There were some 4 to 5 men working there. I would cook for all of them and they would share the food with me. I moved around in a wheelchair. This was my routine. I would start at the morning around 8:30 am till 3 pm. I would be photocopying. Then I would eat lunch and leave for my classes. I would return from my classes and make dinner. I would also bring some food provisions from my home. Once the computer course got over, I returned back home to my village. Around 6 kilometers away from my house, there used to be a petrol bunk. With someone's help, I found an STD booth nearby. I managed the STD booth. The owners told me that I could do all the billing and I could take commission. The petrol bunk gave me an accommodation in a small room they had next to the booth. I would eat my breakfast and dinner from a restaurant nearby. A boy from there would bring it for me. At the beginning, I earned approximately 50 per day, but later business picked up and I would make around 1,000 in a day. When business started to grow, they told me that another physically challenged person was managing this place and the booth. When business started to grow, they told me that another physically challenged person was managing this place and that the booth was in their name. But that person had left saying they could not run the place. So the booth owners suggested I should get it registered under my name, but I needed Rs 8,000 for it. I could not arrange for that money from my home. And my family desired for the booth to be transferred under our name. So the petrol bunk people sent us away from there. After coming back from there, I told a relative, classmate of mine who lives in Basaveshwar Nagar, Bangalore, that I was trained in DTP. When I visited his office once, I found it very difficult to move around his office. I had to get down and climb up the stairs. So he told me he would get me a job at his relative's workplace. It was a transport company. At that place, I had to take account of the stock that has come in from the showrooms and is getting dispatched. At that place, I had to take account of the stock that has come in from the showrooms and is getting dispatched. I would enter all the details and do the billings for such items. I used to work, eat and sleep there itself. After I finished working there, I heard there were job opportunities in an office in Koramangala. So, I called them one day and visited them. My knowledge in English was very poor then, so I contacted Vidya Madam and others. They put me in some training. During those days, I would travel up and down from my house. I had just one pair of clothes that I wore every day for 6 months. During those 6 months, my family also neglected me. Sometimes it would get very late, around 9:30 p.m. by the time I would reach home from the training. Rarely would I have dinner at home and then sleep. Sometimes I managed to buy something to eat on my way. Otherwise, I would skip dinner and wake up next morning and start to work. My friends would scold me saying it was not worth traveling so much, but I didn't listen to them. I told them I had found a job that paid me 3,000 rupees per month. I remember there were times when I would fall while getting off the KSRTC buses and lie on the highway. People passing by in their cars would stop, help me cross, and then leave. Those were very difficult times for me. Sometimes it would be 9:30 or 10 p.m. and I would be stuck in Majestic. There were many such problems I faced during that phase. Vidya Madam helped me get many interviews. I attended one in Electronic City. Everything went well, but it was difficult for me to access due to the staircase. At Windsor Manor Hotel, they rejected me because I didn't speak good English. I attended 2 or 3 other interviews, but nothing worked out. Then I went to Sutures along with other 2 candidates. I joined in as a worker. They paid me rupees 70 a day. I was ready to take up any job at that point, so I agreed. In 2 days, I packed my belongings from home and came here. I didn't have a place to stay. I slept at Shivajinagar bus stop for 2 days. I would wake up in the morning, wash my face and take my entire luggage with me to work. Then I decided to tell Vidya Madam about it. She informed me about a hostel in Yelahanka, so I began to do overtime at work for rupees 10 per hour from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. and earn rupees 90 a day. When we approached the hostel, they told me I had to pay rupees 1,800 and only after making the payment I would be allowed to stay. They let me stay there that night and I returned at 4 a.m. in the morning. I called home and told them I needed rupees 1,800 to pay for the hostel, but they said they'll help me after I have worked for 6 months. It got very difficult. I came back and called Shanti Madam. I told her that I can stay and work only if she can arrange the money. Otherwise, I would leave everything and go away. She came around 10:30 and gave me the money. I joined the hostel and would switch 3 buses every day to get to work. I started visiting my family again once a week. They treated me well. They would wash my clothes once in a week. I shifted my hostel from Yelahanka to Kengeri and then it became very difficult for me to commute. The buses used to be very crowded. I used to hang in the bus sometimes. After 3 to 4 months, I befriended the conductors and bus drivers. They would give me a missed call when they would leave Kengeri so that I can come down from my room and be ready. They would stop the bus right in front of my hostel to pick me up. Even while returning from work, they would leave Banaswadi and inform me that they are coming so that I could wait at the main road for them. They have supported me a lot. I am still in contact with them. It is because of all their support that I have grown this much today. After that, I bought my own vehicle. Then it got convenient for me to commute. I used to always give some of my earnings to my family.
Jagdish has been working here at Suchas for the past 6 to 7 years. He joined as a shop floor employee. Initially, he did a very basic job called forming. We recognized that he had some prior training in DTP and asked if he would be interested in learning Corel Draw and offered to train him. He was very impressed by this and showed a lot of interest. He was learned so much that he is better than a normal employee at times. Even if we make a mistake, he is quick at pointing it out.
When I started, I was earning rupees 1700. After deductions, I would get rupees 1600. Today my salary is rupees 12,000 and I take back home rupees 10,000.
When he first arrived here, we were not sure if he would be able to work here. But today things are very different. He has overcome his disability and he is doing a very good job.
When he first arrived here, we were not sure if he would be able to work here. But today things are very different. He has overcome his disability and he is doing a very good job. The company I work for, Sutures, is a manufacturing company. They are into manufacturing, designing of operation needles, threads, etc. I compile the details of such products like the design, measurements of the needle, expiry date, and the date of manufacture and design it to make the master copy. They send me indent copy and accordingly I prepare and print the master copy. After getting this approved from the supervisor, it is sent for printing. The reason behind my success is the support I received from people, especially Vidya madam. She would guide me on how to approach life, what to do next, and has always supported and encouraged me. I have recently become a father. My wife is pregnant. We are all living together. I have been married for a year and a half now. Until then, I lived in a PG. She used to work as the cook there. She approached me first. We got married against the wishes of our families. They did not even attend our wedding. We are from different castes. She is a Gauda and I am a Lingayat. No family member supported us. My friends and I, the four of us, went to Dharmasthala and got married. I have also opened a shop now. I get up in the morning and buy vegetables for the shop. Then I come back and get ready to go to work. Once I return from work, I go to the shop and check what needs to be purchased and go in my vehicle to Yeshwantpur to get it. I, as a physically disabled person, have always been determined to lead a normal life like other people, and I believe I am no less than others. For example, most people ride vehicles. I did not want to feel that it is not possible for me to do the same. I want to achieve something in life and I am committed to it. Many a time I have got fed up with life. I have wondered if this is all there is to life. I have wondered who will come to support me. I have felt like running away to some place far. Such thoughts come to me often. I strongly believe in God. Whenever I have faced a problem in my life, I have always found help in one way or the other. This is all I have to say. We do not need to fear others just because we are physically challenged. Even though we do not have hands or limbs, God had given us intelligence and we know how to use that intelligence. Another thing to remember is that we should not be lazy. We should not get worried about how far we need to travel or how difficult it will be. If we do so, we will never get there. We need to tell ourselves that we will surely achieve whatever it is. People who mock us will not come to support us. We need to focus on our work. We need to take care of our own lives and not depend on others. That is my aim in life.